I've had myself an enjoyable couple of days in Theale, plus of course I've serviced the engine. As I ready the boat, I spot another craft coming through the swing bridge just up ahead of me. So I waste no time in casting off, intent on nipping through the bridge before the other boater has a chance to close it. My plan works a treat as I manage to catch his attention with a friendly wave. That certainly saved me some hassle. You can just hear me shouting a thank you as I slide through. Of course, it's not very far at all until I reach the next obstacle. This time it's in the form of Lock 101, Sheffield Lock. I ease the boat over onto the landing stage. I use the centre line to steady and then secure the boat so I can go and work the lock.
Well, I was quite lucky getting a hand through that swing bridge. I say a hand, someone else did it all for me, including closing it. And of course I've got this lock set in my favour now, so it should have just been a question of simply hopping off the boat, opening the gate and sliding straight in. But unfortunately it's obviously a little bit of a leaky lock and some of the water's already sort of escaped, so I've had to open both the paddles just to get the last couple of feet of water back in, but that's not too much of a problem. We're doing well.
Depending on a number of factors such as height of gates, maintenance etc, some lock gates are a lot easier to open than others. This one, as you can probably tell, is none too light on its feet. It's just as well then that I only need to open the one gate. It's another one of those beautifully constructed locks with scallop bays forming the chamber walls. Wikipedia tells me it was originally a turf-sided John Hoare construction. The lock was enlarged during the middle of the 18th century so that it could take Newbury barges.
Of course, the boat's determined to go over onto the side I don't want it to. It's a very shallow lock, this. Well, the way the lock's laid out, the easiest thing to do is just to pull the boat through on the rope. Once it clears the gate, I can shut the gate and just hop on the stern and be straight off without having to stop on the landing stage, which will be handy.
It's not a fast process.
The thing to do here is to be quite quick and also keep your eye on the centre line, because if the boat goes and takes the centre line with it, well, you'll be wading in. That's not too bad.
Someone's made themselves comfortable.
It actually does make it quite inconvenient when boats moor right on the edge of the landing stage, but I don't blame them. There's precious little places to moor around here.
Next up is Lock 102 Garston Lock, and as you can see it's fully equipped with gongoozlers, though to my advantage the gates have been left open. I cruise the boat straight in. Little did I know it, but this would be the end of my easy run. This lock is equipped with not one, but 2 pillboxes. And one of them looks like it would have housed a formidable gun. Just close the lock gates. But just look how the water is flooding over them. Let's hope I'm letting more water out than is coming in, otherwise I'll be here all day. Well, it looks like there's plenty of water coming out, that's for sure. With such a strong flow of water through the lock, the boat has been pushed right forward and has gotten itself somewhat jammed.
Well, such is the force of water leaking from the gates that obviously the paddles I've closed, that the boat's sort of settled itself at an angle in the lock, which isn't unusual, but I need to get back down to it via one of the lock ladders, and of course I can't do that because it's not in the right place for either of the lock ladders. There's one on each side of the lock, so I can't get back on, and I can't pull the boat over to one side with the centre line because the force of the water is just too strong. So let's see what I'm going to do about that. All is well. I've just noticed there's another little lock ladder tucked away down there, and that'll do me just nicely.
I'm very glad to be finally making my way out of the lock. But my troubles aren't over yet. I need to get over onto the right hand side of the canal for the landing stage, but I can't turn effectively until the stern of the boat clears the lock. The flow of water through the lock pushes the boat straight ahead. So I end up inspecting the bushes rather more closely than I would have liked. Somehow, and after much messing around, I managed to coax the boat over to where I want to be. But don't forget, this is the somewhat reducted, edited version of events.
Well, I'm finally on the landing stage and got back up there and closed the gate and everything. That lock was not the easiest of locks, let's put it that way. Now, I have to be careful here. There's been a warning from CRT that this has become very shallow and there's only one bit you can go down. It's sort of to the right, not to the left. That's the bit that's silted up. But when I came up and had a look the other day, I could see that if you went too far to the right, well, you'd be in trouble too. So let's see how we get on with that.
And you can easily see that it's perilously shallow, even a good few feet away from the bank's edge. Ahead, there's not really any sign of shallows, but I keep as far over to the right as I dare. I wonder, am I past the danger now? It's difficult to know. As I go into the first bend, I'm still fairly much over to the right, and that proves to be my undoing as overhanging vegetation readjusts the bow cam for me. Well, now it's the sideways looking bow cam for the rest of the cruise by the looks of things. It's civilization in the form of the M4. And a good display of urban art brightens the dull concrete construct, cheering me on my way. Where there's a bridge, there's a graffiti. From a large wide beam to the smallest of yoghurt pots. I'm at the landing stage for Lock 103, Burghfield Lock. It's not set in my favour, so I must fill the chamber before I can enter. Where's the WD-40 when you need it? The sides of this lock just seem to be made up out of giant Armco. As per the last lock, we have ratchet mechanisms at one end and hydraulic mechanisms at the other. The boat descends and soon I'm underway once more. In fact, I'm hoping to moor up just along the way at Burghfield. I've easily found a good spot. It's not too shallow and there's a fair bit of light for the solar panels. That'll do for today.